I kind of need to like, maybe I can use, but you know what? No. Thank you. Oh, God. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Oh, good to see you all. Wow. Oh, wow. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Yet another good day, yet another great day. Welcome to the live. My name is Womboy. Good to see you all. Wow. Mondays are usually confusing for some reason, you know? Like, oh, God. It's like on Monday you have to remind yourself what you normally do. But good to see you all. I had a good weekend. I want to know how are you doing. If you're watching back this video after it's posted or after it's streamed, let me know how you're doing. Let me know how have you been. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, you guys. I really appreciate you all. Yes, yes, yes. So today we're talking about standards versus delusion in dating. So is it standard or is it delusional? Most of us, we keep saying, oh, I have standards, like I can't tolerate this, I can't do this, I can't do that. But the question is it standards or are you just being delusional? Okay, do you want something that literally you can't even give to yourself? Is it standard or are you just being delusional? Do you want to put something that you can't even do by yourself on somebody? Okay, so welcome to the live. Let me know where you're watching me from. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Okay, yeah, so now that's good. We have the topic on the screen. So guys, welcome to the live. My name is Womboy. Good to see you all. Well, I don't know how your weekend was. Mine was a lot. Okay. It was a lot, but at the same time, we gotta keep going. Them assist, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. That's it right there, you guys. Please, please, please like, comment, subscribe, you know, all of those great things. Okay, so we're talking about standards versus delusion. Okay, you know, there are so many things that we normally say, especially as women. There are so many things that we normally say, like, oh, I can't date somebody who is like this, I can't date somebody who is like that. But is it standards or are we just being delusional? So welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. I was born and raised in Kenya, and please guys, you can like, subscribe. This is a safe space, you guys. Let me know, give me your scenarios. I have a lot of scenarios, personal ones, and also from some people that I've read, and I'm gonna be reading them to you. Okay, Diamond says, hello my queen, my weekend was awesome. Okay, what did you do over the weekend? Okay, so good morning, good evening from wherever you're watching me from. You can say hi, let me know where you're watching me from. Kindly like the live, share the love, subscribe, you know. So that's what's up. Okay, so let's be real for a second. Okay, some of us, we have standards, but is it actually standards or is it straight up delusion? Okay, is it straight up delusion? Is it standards or is it straight up delusion? Okay, because there's a thin line between standards and being delusional. Okay, and you guys, maybe somebody can write for us the definition of delusion. Okay, because maybe some of us don't know what that means. Okay, let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know, have you ever met somebody and they were telling you what they're looking for and you're like, you know, you're just being delusional, okay? Because you're not even half of those things that you want. For example, okay, I have been somebody who've been on the dating sites, okay? And I gotta tell you, on this dating site, people write things like, I want this, I want that. One that's common, people like saying that they want a traditional wife, a wife who is domesticated, somebody who is willing and ready to stay at home. But you find out that this person is wild and they're looking for somebody who is domesticated. Okay, so that's one of the things that I say, that's delusion. Okay, so give me your scenarios, let me know. Okay, so we're gonna start with one scenario that I have right here. You want a partner who earns 6 figures, is emotionally available, loyal, attractive, and consistent. but you don't, but you know what, you don't work, you don't communicate well, you're inconsistent. So those are some of the things that we are talking about. You want somebody who is earning 6 figures, you don't even have a job, you literally don't even have the qualification to get a job that can give you 6 figures. You see what I'm saying? That there is literally a huge disconnect because between what you want and what you actually have as a person. Because if you can't give yourself the things that you're looking for, if you can't give yourself those things, okay, is that standards, or are you just being delusional? So actually, you know what, be honest, what's one standard, okay, this is a question, what's one standard you'll never lower? What's one standard that you'll never lower? What's one standard you'll never lower? I don't know if Diamas will help me type that. Be honest, what's one standard you'll never lower? Okay, guys, welcome to the live. You're talking about standards versus delusion, okay? Standards versus delusion. And I know men in the chat today, I know you guys, or even sometimes ladies, because men are the one who undergo this most of the time. As ladies, we do have standards. We want guys who have made it in life. We want guys who are gonna give us luxury. But most of the time, it's like, you have never even worked at a cafe, okay, and you want somebody who is up there. I just feel like that there's such a huge like disconnect between the two, okay? So let me know your situations. Let me know something, if you have been on dating sites or something. Let me know some of your situations, okay? So because I'll be giving mine. Okay, so there's a question on the screen. What's one standard you will never lower? What's one standard that you'll never lower? So I do believe that some of us don't have standards. We have fantasies, okay? You see, like, because if I tell you the fantasies that I was having when I was a child, back in the day when I was dreaming about the type of partner that I'll have, the person that will marry me, or the person that I'll marry. I remember me and my cousins, we were seated somewhere and we were telling each other, oh, at what age are you gonna get married? Mine was not get married, have a child. Mine was 27. I kept saying, and that number was consistent all through. I was like, I'm gonna have a child at 27. I'm gonna have a husband, and the things like the way I was dreaming, that husband was gonna have a good car. That the husband was gonna have a good house. But okay, of course, I've always seen myself as an ambitious woman, so I've always known that I'll make it, or I'll work hard to get there. But in my head as a child, that's what I saw. I saw a man who is accomplished, okay? So those are some of the fantasies. So I do believe that some of us don't have standards. We do have fantasies, okay? So let me know some of your fantasies. Or you can give me a scenario and we can find out whether it's standard or delusion. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Kindly like, subscribe, and I would appreciate that so much. So let's read a scenario from Diamas. God, what's wrong with my ears? Diamas says, I say most people are delusional. I use dating sites a lot, and I often see girls' profiles stating they love to travel. Now I've done a bit of world traveling, but they haven't been anywhere. Okay, they haven't even been out of our hometown. Don't get me wrong. I never wrote that on my dating site's profile because I was so worried. I didn't want anybody to ask me, okay, you're saying that you love to travel. Where have you traveled to? But basically, I could write that because my home country, I have traveled to many parts of Kenya, so many parts, almost even the border and all of that. So there are some people who are writing stuff like that on the dating site, but what they mean is they are looking for somebody who can be able to finance their traveling, okay? And that's it. It's not like they are travelers. They are looking for somebody who can be able to finance their traveling. Diamond says, one standard I do not lower. I don't date women with tattoos. Why? What's wrong with women with tattoos? Okay, and we are not judging. So what's wrong with women with tattoos in your opinion? They are looking for someone to finance their traveling. Exactly, and that's it. Most of the time, those are just fantasies that we do have. Like, you want to be able to do that, but because you can't, you expect somebody to be able to do that for you. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Let me know where you're watching me from. When you join in, say hi. We're talking about standards versus delusion, okay? Standards versus delusion in dating, okay? Sometimes you find out that somebody is saying, I'm looking for somebody who is making 6 figures or even 5 figures. I'm looking for somebody who is living in an estate. I'm looking for somebody who owns a house. And you've never even been able to rent an apartment. You live with your parents. So those are some of the things that we're talking about. Let me know your scenarios. Say hi. Kindly like, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Okay, so we have a question on the screen. I don't know if I do. Oh, I did not pin it. What is one standard you will never lower? What's one standard that you'll never lower? Diamond says that he will never date a woman with tattoos. Okay, he says the one standard that he'll never lower is like he'll never date a woman with tattoos. Okay, let me know yours. Itotia Denny says, Wamboy, how are you? I'm good. Kwegafio, kweroatia. Daima says, guys, when you join in, kindly like, subscribe. I really appreciate that. Daima says, women with tattoos are bad girl. Women with tats. All bad girls have tattoos. What that means is some good girls have tattoos, but all bad have tats. So if you date a girl with not if you date a girl with no tats, she's guaranteed to be a good girl. Is she? Okay, guys, do you agree with Diamonds? Like he says, like if you date a girl with no tattoos, she's guaranteed to be a good girl. For example, I don't have tattoos. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I don't wanna have, or I have never admired to have a tattoo. First of all, but you know what? I think I'm a good girl. And this is something that I've tried to fight for so long, but I think I'm a good girl, okay? I've always wanted to like pierce my ears, like you see, like a line, you know, continuous. And I have always wanted to do that, pierce this part of my eyes, pierce my nose, my tongue, so that I can speak like, you know, and then pierce my lips. But you know what, why I wanted to do that? I was so sick and tired. I was so sick and tired of being seen as a good girl, because people do take advantage of people who are good. People take advantage of good people, and I didn't want any man to take advantage of me, or like to think that I'm a good girl so that they can play football with my heart. So I wanted to like pierce everything in me. I wanted to have tattoos so that I can be seen as a bad girl or something of that. I don't know if some of the girls, if you're in the chat, have you ever felt like that? Okay, Brijesh, oh, you came back. It says Kenya. Kenya in the building. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Talk to us about, is it standards or is it delusional? Okay. Let us know some of the one thing that like you have, a standard that you have, that people think like you're being delusional. Okay. Tony, welcome to the building. Good to see you. To be honest, I don't understand that logic. You don't understand, like maybe you know, I don't. And then you know, there's a problem because I don't attract girls on this channel. It's always like men. It smells like men in here, and I'm gonna say again, it smells like men in here in this channel. Okay, but you know, my mentality was like, when you look at me, I look like a good girl, don't I? Like I am a good girl, but I just wanted to like, I wanted to hide behind the tattoos. I want to hide behind the piercings and all of that. Okay, I have one piercing and I never wear earrings. Like they're not literally my thing, or I wear sometimes. Or when I wear, like, it's just not my thing. But I just want to have those type of piercings so that I can hide behind that. And like when you look at me, you're like, you know, I can play with her. You know, because I realized that men like bad girls. Men are attracted to bad girls. Okay, is that true? Brijesh sends the emoji. Love you too, Brijesh. Diamond says this is about all bad girls get tattoos, all of them. There are no bad girls without tattoos. So a girl without a tattoo is good. Some good girls have tattoos, but if they don't have a tat, they are good. Wow, I don't understand that. Tony says, you do indeed look like a good girl. Okay, and that's a problem. I don't want to look like a good girl. I just want to look intimidating. Like, I want to look threatening. That's it. I want to look threatening. I don't want to look like a good person. Because when you are a good person, people take advantage of you. When you are a bad person, like, nobody's gonna be playing football with your heart. Try it like this. If you don't have a tattoo, you could be good or bad. But if you have a tattoo, you are bad. So if I date a girl with no tats, she can only be good. Wow. I cannot understand your logic, but that's it. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. We are talking about standards versus delusion, okay, in dating, okay? Is it standard or are we being delusional? So give me your scenarios. Like the live, share the love, subscribe. Tony says, not true. Maybe the ones you liked are attracted to bad girls. Many dudes prefer good girls. Okay, but when it comes to, like, when it comes to settling, I do think men want to settle with good girls when it comes to, like, settling. But when it comes to, like, dating around and sleeping around, what do men want? Okay? Because Tony says that men are attracted to good girls, but I do believe that men are attracted to bad girls. Let me know, is that a reality? Leon says hi to you, welcome to the live. Guess you're talking about standards versus delusion in dating, okay? Is it standard, or are we just being delusional? I was talking about that I wanted to pierce my ears, I wanted to pierce my nose, have tattoos all over, because I do believe that if I do that, I'm gonna look like a bad girl and I'm gonna attract men, okay? Because I honestly believe that men are attracted to bad girls. So that's what I'm asking. Tony told me that men are not attracted to bad girls. So let me know. If you have something to say, send in. Diana says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Hujambo from Kenya. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about standards versus delusion, okay? So, for example, some people, they must give us a scenario. Like, some people on the dating sites do write, like, oh, I'm such a traveler, I want a traveler, and they have never been outside their hometown, okay? So is it like is it standards or is it fantasies, okay? Or are you looking for somebody to finance the lifestyle that you hope you would be able to live, but you are not, okay? So that's what you're talking about. Let me know your scenarios. And also, I did ask a question: what's one standard you'll never lower? What's one standard you'll never lower when it comes to dating, okay? Okay. Let me keep reading. Diamond says, I agree with one boy. If it's a girl I want to introduce to my mother, she has to be a good girl. But if it's a girl I want to take home for now, bad is better. Okay, guys, I do believe men take home. When it comes to settling, men settle with good girls when it comes to settling. But when it comes to, like, hoeing around, being a slut, men are attracted to bad girls when it comes to sleeping around. When it comes to, like, sleeping with anybody. The other time, there's another day I was talking to my friend, and my friend says that they cannot date somebody that is a graduate from university, because they do believe that if you had time to be in university, you have probably explored a lot of things, okay? So according to them, they would never date somebody who is a university graduate. They would prefer somebody who never made it to university, okay? And what's the logic? Like, their logic is that girls who make it to campus, they end up being very used, and they end up becoming bad girls, okay? So this is some of the logics that we are talking about right now. So let me know, as a man, are you attracted to bad girls or good girls? When it comes to marriage, what do you prefer, bad girls or good girls, okay? And if you're just joining in, my name is Omboy. We are talking about standards versus delusion. Let me know. Give us your opinion. Let us know what you think about the topic that we are discussing, okay? Ooh. Until says, you're delusional, look at your hair. You're delusional, look at your hair. What's wrong with my hair? Okay, I'm not delusional. Okay, or even if I am, okay, why do you think that I'm delusional? Look at my hair. How do those two how do my hair and like delusion go in the same sentence according to you? Dema says good girls want a connection, bad girls want a contraceptive. Oh my god. Good girls want a connection, bad girls want a contraceptive. What does that mean? Can you please elaborate? uh okay, thank you for typing in the question for me. Are you attracted to good girls? uh are you attracted to good girls or boys, or bad girls versus boys? Okay, so let us know your opinion. I am still waiting for you, Spose, until to tell me. You said you're delusional. Look at your hair. How does delusional and my hair come in one sentence? I really want to know. I really want to know, because I don't think they come in one sentence. Okay. The Daima says connection versus contraceptive. This is why men chase bad girls until they are ready to settle. Oh, okay, okay. Because most probably the bad girl won't get pregnant, okay? But, when you date a good girl, somebody who is not like experienced out there, literally, you might get them pregnant within the first go. Okay, Tony says, I've attracted good girls my whole life by the grace of God. So that's all I know, except my first girlfriend. Okay, so are you a good boy? In your opinion, okay? In your opinion, are you a good boy? Because personally, I do believe that I'm a good girl, and I just don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, I don't like it. Guys, we're talking about standards versus delusion. Okay, standards versus delusion in dating. So the thing is, I think the whole concept is, or like the whole concept is, you can demand what you don't represent. Okay, you can say that like you're looking for somebody who works at state house where you don't even have a job. Like, it has to make sense. Like, you can look for something that you're not. You're looking for somebody who is a university graduate and you just made it to you are a dropout. Okay, you can't look for something that you're not, and that's the thing here, and that's the problem that we are having right now, especially with us ladies. Okay, we want something that we are not, or like we want something. Also with men, you want traditional women. You want a woman who cooks and clean. Do you do those things that you're looking for? Do you do those things that you're looking for? So that's what you're talking about. Let me know your situations, let me know your scenarios. Let me analyze this. Tony says, I've attracted good girls my whole life by the grace of God. So that's all I know, except my first girlfriend. Okay. And I asked him, are you a good boy? I'll definitely, I'm a good dude, but I'm not a stupid or foolish. Okay. And that's it. I think you can be a good person while still, you can be a good person. You can be a good person, but at the same time not stupid. Spot Hair Until says, when will you need to do your hair? I don't need to do my hair. Like, I just undid my hair the other day. There is a problem with people who think that black people's hair is unattractive. Like, black people, oh my god, I don't know why I'm even responding to you. Just, you know what, just move on. Okay, black people's hair is not a problem. Okay, there's no problem with, if you're looking for straight hair, you can just go to a white person's channel. Okay, keep moving. Nonsense. Diamond says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. So let me give you scenarios, and let me know if you think it's delusional or it's just standards. I want someone. Okay, so this is the scenario. I want someone who texts me 24/7 and is always available. Okay, so standards or delusion. Okay, I want someone who texts me 24/7 and is always available. I want someone who texts me 24/7 and is always available. I hope you heard that one. So I want someone who texts me 24/7 and is always available. I think that's unrealistic. Okay, it's unrealistic to put that weight on your partner, because first of all, they do have their own lives. Okay, you can be there 24/7, but yeah, your partner's life doesn't revolve around you get what I'm saying. So guys, the scenario is, I want someone who texts me 24/7 and is always available. Okay, Tony says delusional. Okay, me too. I think it's delusional. Okay. Let me give other people a chance. Guys, welcome to the live. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're talking about standards versus delusion in dating. Okay, let me know. Have you ever dated somebody and they told you something that they are not? They told you that they want you to maybe have this, have that, maybe financial expectations that they are having. They are not even anywhere close to halfway. Okay, they want to travel around the world and they have never even been out of their hometown. Dimas says, okay, thank you Dimas for typing that. Okay, Dimas says, I want someone who texts me 24/7, realistic or delusional. Okay, realistic or delusional. So Tony says texting throughout the day, the whole day, constantly can be often exhausting. I know. You know, actually, if you can be able to maybe be on video call while everybody is doing their own thing, that's okay. But like texting, you know, you can't be on the phone the whole day. You have your own personal life. The other person have their own personal life. They have things that they're dealing with. I don't think that's realistic. Diana says, I say realistic because I believe in being available to my woman 24/7. Exceptions will be given notice. I'll be texting in a meeting from X to X. Okay, wow, your woman. But how are you able to do that? Like, how are you able to be available 24/7? Don't you work? Don't you have things going on? How can you be available for somebody 24/7? You don't have things going on in your own personal life, or what's going on. Okay, fill us in, guys. Welcome to the live. We're talking about standards versus delusion. Okay, we have a question. I want someone who texts me 24/7. Is it realistic or delusional? Guys, when you join in, like the live. Samuel Chikira says, hi Samuel, welcome to the live. Let me know how you're doing, and you can contribute to the topic. You're talking about standards versus being delusional. Okay, standards versus being delusional. Yeah, so we have a question. I want someone who texts me 24/7. Is it realistic or delusional? Okay, so Davis told us that like he thinks it's realistic. He has to be there 24/7 for his woman. Okay, what a man. What a man. Davis says back in the day it would be an issue, but then cell phones and apps and so much time, you have to choose not to be available. You know, honestly, first of all, I don't do the whole game of like being nonchalant in relationships. Okay, it's either I'm in or I'm out. Okay, so when it comes to like messaging back your partner, you literally have the time to message back your partner, but you can be able to you can be able to be available for the person 24/7. You can squeeze them inside your day, or like maybe you can bring them to work with your stuff, but I don't believe it's realistic. But wow, you have a different perception. Diamonds, and keep in mind, if he or she is special, they are not going to contact you while you are at work all the time. They're not going to contact you while you're at work all the time. Okay, you know what, I kind of see that. I kind of see that, because you know there's this whole thing of being nonchalant, or like trying to show people that you're not interested, trying to act like you're not chasing them. You know what, for me it's just either we are in or we are out. The whole thing of like, oh, let me wait for 10 minutes before I text you back, that doesn't work for me. Okay, it doesn't. If I want to message you, or like if you're in a relationship, I should feel free to message you anytime, anyhow. Not like you message me right now, hi, and then I'll be waiting for like 10 minutes or 15 so that I don't look interested. No, we are not going to be doing that, okay? We are not going to be doing that. Another scenario. So it's a lady. I want a man who is rich, pays for everything and fund my lifestyle. Realistic or delusional? I want a man who is very rich, pays for everything and fund my lifestyle. Realistic or delusional, according to your opinion? I want a man who is very rich, pays for everything and fund my lifestyle. Is it realistic or delusional, in your opinion? Okay, is it realistic or delusional? Or is it standards Is that a standard, or is it being delusional? Okay, is it a fantasy? Does it seem like it's a fantasy? Thank you, Diamas, for typing for me. I want a man who is rich, pays for everything, and fund my lifestyle. Is it realistic or delusional? Okay, people, some men who are providers will say that's just the bare minimum, or some women will say that's just a bare minimum. A man should be rich, but let me know. Okay, guys, we have something on the screen. I want a man who is rich, pays for everything, and fund my lifestyle. Is it realistic or delusional, or is this just a fantasy that ladies we do have? As ladies, we do have. So let me know, let me know. Okay, let me give you a second before I give my opinion. Let me give you a second. And we're talking about standards versus delusion in dating. Is it a standards versus delusional? Is this a standard, or is you're just being delusional? Okay. Wow. Okay. Diamond says it's realistic. Wow! I didn't expect that. But it depends on the people. If it's me and the women I date, it's unrealistic. Why is it unrealistic? But what about a woman who was born into money and dates a man in the same social class? Okay? Okay, you know what? Honestly, it depends. Wow, it depends with where you come from. It depends with, because first of all, if you come from a very poor household and you're not even trying to work yourself out of there, you don't even have a qualification to say that you need a rich man. Because first of all, I think you meet people who are your standards. Okay, if you keep attracting people who are poor, which means there's something in you that's literally poor. Okay, if you keep attracting people who are middle class, maybe that's where you are. That's where you are. Okay, if you keep attracting rich people, you have a rich energy to you or something. uh Tony says it's realistic if she's extremely desired by most men, but for the majority, no, it's not realistic. Okay, if maybe she's extremely beautiful or something. Okay. Mm, wow. Okay, it's a good point. I think Tony. Okay, mine was like, I thought it's unrealistic, especially if you're not doing well yourself. Okay, but I think Tony makes more sense if like a lady is really pretty and she can have any man that she wants. So it's realistic. Okay, moving on. Uh, I can't date. So this is a scenario. So let me know. I can't date someone unless they're already living a luxury lifestyle. I can't date someone unless they're already living a luxury lifestyle. Is it really? Is it a standard or is it delusion? I can't date someone unless they're already living a luxury lifestyle. I think most of us we do have this. Like most of us right now as women, we have this standard. Like I can't date someone unless they're already living a luxury lifestyle. So is it realistic or is it delusional? Diamond says, if it's Jada Pinkett Smith, I'm taking out a second mortgage. Okay. Wow. I honestly I don't know who that is. I might be googling later on, but I am hoping she's really attractive. You know what? Let me actually look up. Let me actually look up what we are talking about. Jada Pinkett. Jada Pinkett. Wow. Jada Pinkett. Oh, American actress. Let me see her images. Oh, she's attractive. Okay. Okay, I can see why you can take. Okay, she's really attractive. Um. Oh, Will Smith wife. Ooh. Okay, she's really attractive. I see that. I know Will Smith, but I don't know Jada Pinkett. Okay. Um. Diama says, okay, the question. Guys, we have the question on the screen. Let me know. Okay, we are talking about standards versus delusional. So I can't date someone unless they're already living a luxury lifestyle. Is it realistic or delusional? Newton Kibebe says, Sasa Vesti, how are you doing? That's what he says. I'm doing great. How are you? Welcome to the live. Will Smith wife, okay? Oh, she's really attractive. That one, you could literally take a second mortgage or something, you know? Uh-huh. Okay, what if when people say, I want a high value partner, but I'm not improving. I'm not gonna change anything about myself. So I'm who I say I am. I'm whatever I say I am. But uh, Tony says I've never been asked this question as a man. Which one? I can't date someone unless they are already living it. Okay, okay, okay. I want a high value partner, but I'm not improving anything about myself. Not only improving, I'm not willing to change. Like I am who I say I am, period. Like, okay. So is it realistic or is it just delusional? Okay. You want what you want. You want a high value partner, somebody who communicates, somebody who listens, somebody who helps you around the house, somebody who, as a man, somebody who helps you with the bill when it comes to the lady. So I want a high value partner, but I'm not improving anything about myself. Is it realistic or is it just being delusional? Newton says, search Ranjun 207. Sahi, huyo ni mimi bestie. Okay. Diamond says, living a luxury lifestyle, same as before. It depends on the people. Think about people who are born into that luxury lifestyle. Why should they settle for less? I know. I keep seeing children of governors, senators getting married to a nobody, and I'm like, why are you downgrading? Like, the only place that you can go when you've already made it, when you come from I think every generation should improve. Okay, if your mother was here, I think you should go here. Okay, I think you should always improve from whatever your parents had or like who they were. You should always go higher. So I keep seeing people marrying downwards, and I'm like, especially when it comes to ladies. Okay, a guy, because you're the one, as a man, I feel like men are the ones, men create their own. Okay, but as women, I think you should always go forward. So I keep seeing ladies from rich families marry downwards, and I'm like, you just failed your entire generation. Somebody works so hard to have you up there, and then you want to downgrade. Okay, such busy. I really can't do that right now. Sorry, but I will. Diamond says, I want a high value partner, but I'm not going to improve anything about myself. Realistic or delusional? Okay. Okay, and I think this is really common. It sounds obvious, but it's really common. Some of us, like, you want to meet somebody, you want to change who they are. You want them to be fit, you want them to control their eating, you want them to have a snatched waist, you want them to be this, that, but you yourself, you're not willing to change. You're not willing to change your style. You're not willing to change anything. Okay, you're just so fixed, like you're so rigid, and you want them to be flexible. Okay, so I think that's unrealistic. That's delusional. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. We're talking about standards versus delusional. Okay, standard versus delusional. Sending your scenarios. Let's see. Tony says, I want a higher value partner, hence why I'm okay to improve on my deficiencies. And that's it right there. That's why, me personally, I'm not gonna rest until I know that I have become the best version of myself. That's why I want to keep trying a lot of things. I want to try everything that's out there that I can try. I want to try every skill that I can, so that it can make me better. Because at the end of the day, I really want the person that I'm with, I want them to keep improving. I want them to keep meeting different versions of themselves. Okay, so you can't tell me that you want me to be this, that. You can't tell me you don't want me to gain weight, and you're there eating like a pig. Okay, it doesn't make sense. You can't want me to have a snatched waist, and you're there eating like you're leaving the world tomorrow. Okay, you're eating like a pig, that, anything. One Don K says, hey, welcome to the live. Good to see you. It's been a minute. How are you doing? When you join in, kindly like, subscribe. We are talking about standards versus being delusional in dating. Okay, send us your scenarios. Let me know. As men, have you ever dated somebody and then they said something and you're like, you know what, that's unrealistic, I'm not willing to work with that. Diamond says, fixing oneself, it's relative. I think you need to be open to improvements, but is to say that what needs to be improved? No, your partner can tell you or can advise you what you need to improve. Okay, Okay, and I do believe nobody should change who you are. Nobody should come in and tell you, oh, I don't love this, I don't love. But when it comes to like improving here and there, it could be your looks, your dressing, your style. Some of those things you can change, but when it comes to character, you get who you fell in love with. That's it. Like, you're not gonna come and try to change my character. I am who I say I am. I'm who you met. But when it comes to maybe style, when it comes to such things, I'm literally willing to change. When it comes to learning new skills, when it comes to learning things to do with money, I am willing to do that. uh Diama says, okay, the eating is a great point. Okay, because men, I think men, you are the ones who have this problem. Okay, you want person with a very snatched waist. You want somebody who is like they eat one meal in a day. You want somebody who like takes care of themselves. They work out, but you're just there letting yourself go. Okay, you don't take care of yourself. You want a woman who is glowy, have a skincare routine. You don't even brush your teeth half of the time or most of the time. One don't care says growth shouldn't be about fixing yourself because you're broken. It's about leveling up so you can bring more to the table. And that, wow, that's it. So do you think when your partner when you're looking for a high value partner, do you think that you should be willing to improve? Okay, is it realistic or is it unrealistic, or is it just being delusional? And Diama says, or a man mostly want a good Christian woman but hasn't been to a church. I have had this so many times. I have met men who have told me, I am looking for a God-fearing woman, a woman who will pray for me before going to sleep, a woman who will pray for me before I go to work, a woman who will receive me home and pray. And I'm like, when is the last time that you even ever read a Bible? Okay? When is the last time that you ever you ever even went to a church? When was the last time that, stop looking for things that you're not? Okay? Yeah, I just think that's a scenario right there. And I just think that's delusional. Diamond says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen, who jumbo from Kenya. Welcome to the live. Wow. Yeah, when was the last time you even read a Bible? Okay, we have some of other scenarios here. Okay, is this standards or versus delusional? Is this standard versus delusional? If they really love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. If they really love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. Standards or delusional? If they love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. Ooh, God, that's a huge one. If they love me, they shouldn't have a friend of the opposite gender. If they love me, they shouldn't have friend of the opposite gender. Is it a standard or is this being delusional? Alright. If they really love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. If they really love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. Thank you. Okay? Is it standards or delusional? If they love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. Do you think that your partner should have friends of the opposite gender? If they, you know what? According to me, before you even answer, so that you don't say I copied you, I think that's just controlling, not a standard. I think it's just controlling. Like, people can have friends. Like, before they met you, they had a life. And I think that's what we really need, or like that's what we really need to realize. I need to realize before I met the man or my man or whatever, he literally had a life and he knew people. Okay? Okay, if they really love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. Let me give you guys a chance to answer that. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, it's another day. We are talking about standards versus delusional in dating. Ooh. Yeah. If they really love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. I think controlling. I think it's controlling. It's not a standard. Controlling. Fred Amoa. Wow, it's been a minute. How are you doing? Welcome to the live. Good evening, my beautiful from Paris. You're doing. I'm doing great. How are you? Welcome to the live. Thank you so much, guys. When you join in, like the live, please subscribe. Fred, we are talking about standards versus delusional. We have the question on the screen. Let us know your opinion. If they really love me, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender. Is it a standard or is just being delusional? Diama says that that's kind of a hard one. First of all, if they trust you, it shouldn't be an issue. However, if it bothers your partner, then isn't their feelings more important than your friend? Uh, okay. I think both sides. The friend is important, but your partner is more important. Okay, because at the end of the day, your friend will go and find a partner. They will go and find a partner and have their own life. But I think saying that if somebody really loves you, they shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender, that's just being controlling. Okay, have you ever had doubts, or like, are you doubting that they're doing anything? But if not, why would you not want your partner to have a friend of the opposite gender? For me, it just sounds so controlling, and it just sounds like you're literally insecure, because most of the time you yourself, you have friends of the opposite gender. Like, why would you want your partner not to have friends of the opposite gender? That's just my reasoning. Okay, guys, do you think that your partner should have friends of the opposite gender? Do you think that's realistic? Do you think that, okay, should your partner have friends of the opposite gender, according to your opinion? I think, me personally, it depends. Because first of all, I have friends who are married, okay? But I like to, like, keep my distance. I like to be very respectful. If I'm like, there are literally hours that I don't call. If it even means for me to disappear for a minute, because you have what did I want to say? If it means for me to disappear because your partner is maybe insecure, or they don't want me, that's okay. Oh God, why did you retract the message? Okay, let me wait. Guys, welcome to the live. We are talking about standards versus delusional. Standards versus delusional. We are talking about standard versus delusional. Do you think your partner should have friends of the opposite gender? Like, there are some of us, we do have best friends who are male, or even there are men who have best friends who are female, but they are not dating. They can never see themselves dating. Okay, so do you think if your partner tells you, like, if you really love me, you shouldn't have friends of the opposite gender? Do you think that's realistic? Do you think that's uh is that a standard, or is it just being delusional? Just because you trust someone doesn't mean they can be trusted. I retyped this because it had too many typos. Okay, just because you trust someone doesn't mean that they can be trusted. Okay, but why are you with somebody that you cannot trust? Because that's another thing. Why are you with someone that you cannot trust? Okay, why are you with somebody that you cannot trust? Wow. Me personally, I think it depends. Okay, because first of all, for me, I have friends who are married. I just don't I am so, like, I'm so respectful, because I can see maybe the insecurity that maybe their partner might have. I will contact you when necessary, but, like, okay, I would prefer to even call you, so that even when your partner is there, they can literally hear the conversation. Okay, so the whole thing of, like, I think you kind of need to give people distance, especially when they are married and stuff. But it doesn't mean that you should cut them off. That's why I was saying it's also about trust. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I think it's just controlling. But at the same time, I can see the other side. I can see why, like, especially because some people have friends, male friends, female friends, that they are really close with. They share everything, they talk about anything. So you could feel, why are you not able to talk with me about those things that you're telling your friend? Okay, that can really create a problem, because most of the time when you're in a relationship, your partner should be your best friend. But I can see why you could need to have some friends. Okay. um okay, Is this a standard, or is it being delusional? I expect full access to my partner's phone. I expect full access. Full access means everything. Literally, you can access everything. Is it a standard or just delusional? I expect full access to my partner's phone. I expect full access to my partner's phone. I expect full access to my partner's phone. Is it a standard or is just being delusional? I expect full access to my partner's phone. I would say I expect full access to my partner's phone. Is it a standard or just being delusional? I think it depends. If you guys are married, that's another thing. Because first of all, if somebody is just dating you, they won't give you access to everything. Right now, there's so many things that phones can do. We have mobile banking, we have all those things. So, which means if you're just dating, I just don't expect to have full access to somebody's phone, because at the end of the day, they need to keep their privacy and until they know it's permanent. So I can see that, but I think it's a standard, especially if you're married. It's a standard. But when it comes to like somebody you know you're not married, like that's just depends. So let me wait for you guys' opinion. I expect full access to my partner's phone. Standard or delusional? I expect full access to my partner's phone. Standard or delusional? Ooh, I expect full access to my partner's phone. Is it a standard or just being delusional? Wow. I had some tea. Wow. Where did the tea go? I was literally sipping some tea on here. I don't know where. It disappeared too. Diana says, we are back to trust issues. However, if you have something on your phone that is private to the person you are committed to, then you might not be ready for a committed relationship. Okay, no, okay, I says your partner should be able to access your phone. But this question says everything on your phone, like they should be able to access everything, literally everything. Which means the phones these days, they have a lot of things. There's finances, there's a lot of things. Okay, so do you think, Diamas, do you think you should give your partner access to the whole of your phone, which means they will have access to your banking, they will have access to all of those things? Tony says, I don't even want to feel the need to look at my partner's phone, to be honest. Okay, you know what, me personally, I literally have never, okay, let me see, have I ever gone through anybody's phone? Let me tell you, I have never felt the need, because when we get there, I just need to keep moving. But I have, I like my partner's phone because I think it's better than mine. It takes better pictures. So such stuff. But literally, that's just it. Pictures, because I like the way it looks like and stuff. But just sitting there and like going through stuff, no. If you're getting to that point, and of course, I don't expect access to my partner's finances, especially if you're not married. Like, why should I? Why should I know? Like, okay. Well, you know what? I'm with you, Tony. Like, if you feel this need to like go through your partner's phone every time, then the thing is like you shouldn't be together. Like, that person is not your person. My name GTK says, welcome to the live, guys. When you join in, like the live, subscribe. Full access is 100% delusional. Okay, delusional. So what will you allow your partner to see on your phone? Diana says, but not dating. You need to be at the very least in the area of getting married. I'm not letting my girlfriend to access to my banking info. That's it, because you want to be really careful. Okay, you want to be really careful. The fact that it's your partner is your person, by okay, banking info is a, but you know what, I think if you're already sleeping together, you're having sex, you should be able to access the messages, you should be able to access all those things. Finances is it's a whole another field. Okay, but if you're sleeping together, you're doing these things, you should be able, because what is more private than the private parts? If your phone is more private than your private parts, then oh no, your phone is more private than your. I can have access to your genitals, but not your phone. No, something is wrong. Let's keep moving. Tony says, but if it's needed to check messages and whatnot, then yeah. No, you should. I feel like having the password or the pin to even just access the messages, not the finances, the messages. That's a good start. Okay, Bob says if you feel the need to, that's not a good sign. Okay, so do you think it's a standard or is just being delusional? uh Full access to your partner's phone, is it a standard or is it being delusional? Diamond says, and not to mention, you can access my phone, but that doesn't give you access to my financials, which have their own passwords. Okay, and that's it. Like, first of all, like, like, let's everybody mind their own business, especially if you're not married to somebody, because you really don't want to give people information. You don't want to give them vital information about you, because before you realize, you'll get robbed. Actually, you know what, I wouldn't even want financial information about anyone. I wouldn't, because I just don't want you to be robbed. I don't want you to think that, like, maybe I stole from you or stuff. Like, just keep that information to yourself. Because even if I know, what will I do with the information? Bob says, full access is delusional. I shouldn't be making my partner want such access, and they shouldn't be asking for such access. But they should be able to access your messages. Like, they should be able to use your phone with no, what is it called? With you not making it a big deal. Like, oh, can I use your phone? Can I take a picture with your phone? It shouldn't be a problem. Okay, but when it comes to, like, oh, can you maybe show me password to this, that? No, no. I knew I knew a friend of mine. In campus, we used to get like higher education loans. Okay, and the friend used to, like, so both of them. It was two partners. So both of them were receiving the loan, the higher education loans. Student loan. Okay, so the lady, I don't think the guy had access to the loan. Okay, but the lady always had access, full access, the pins to the card, and she used to go and blow the money, buy some dresses and stuff. And I was like, that can never be me, because no, we are not gonna be doing that. Everybody have your own money, let me have mine. Okay, we can combine, but, like, we are just dating. What is this whole thing of, like, the whole uniting? What are we uniting about? Okay, Diamond says, it's hard because you're dealing with your own past memory, past experiences, and the fact that everyone is cheating these days. You want to trust, but in a world where infidelity is praised, it's hard. Yeah, that's why I'm saying that, like, you should be able to access the messages. Okay, I do believe you should be able to access that. But if like, you feel the need to access everything, like even the finances, no. Bob says, I think it's just being delusional. Bob says, yeah, it shouldn't be, but, like, monitoring, is it a red flag? But, like, monitor, I don't believe like looking at your partner. Okay, maybe I don't believe looking at your partner's phone is a red flag, because at the end of the day, this is somebody that could literally infect you with an infectious disease. Okay, so at the end of the day, you should have that at least. Okay. Bob says, if I had a wife, we'll keep our own money, then have a joint account for the house, where we'll contribute a percentage of our income to. What if your wife doesn't work? Like, what if she stays at home? Will you be the one who controls the finances? Because I think that's a problem that we have in relationships. So if she doesn't work, how about that? If she doesn't work, what happens? Wow, we still have many more to go, guys. Welcome to the live. We're talking about standards versus delusional. Let me know. Let me know something that you've ever dated somebody and they said that they want to know, or they want access to, and you're like, that's just ridiculous. Let me know some of the scenarios. Okay, so I asked Bob a question, but let's move on, because most of us have answered. But still, I will be waiting for his response. Okay. Okay, so somebody says, I should be their, uh, I should be their whole world. Everything else comes second. Okay. I should be their whole world. So is it a standard or delusional? I should be their whole world. Everything else comes second. His family or her family comes second. Uh, Brothers and sisters come second. Friends come second. So is it a standard or is it being delusional? I should be their world. Everything else comes second. I should be their world. Everything else comes second. Okay. Daima says, lots of people think that's a good idea, separate accounts, but they often end up fighting about, why do you have more in your account than I have in mine? Okay. Uh, Maybe because like that's what you made. Like if both of you are working, like if you have less money in your account, is because that's what you made. Or Bob says, not working in this economy. No, okay, let me tell you. First of all, women. Let's say she's been pregnant back to back, 3 children back to back. Okay, so doesn't she deserve to like have that luxury of staying at home? 3 children back to back, and she gave birth. You didn't. Okay, you didn't. Your work was just the pumping and whatever and done. Okay, so 3 children back to back. So maybe, yeah, I can see why she could stay at home, because first of all, you're not the one who is carrying the pregnancy. She is. I understand the whole economy thing, but this at the same time, but you know what, that's something that you should make a non-negotiable when you're looking for a partner. Bob says, but in that case I wouldn't mind contributing 100%. Okay, but does she have access to the finances, or does she tell you to does she tell you when she has needs to give it to her? Bob says, as long as our roles are properly defined. Yeah, I think that should be defined when you start dating. Uh-huh. So we have another scenario on the screen. I should be their world, everyone else comes second. Standard or delusional? I should be their world, everyone else comes second. It's just because of how Bob says, like, doesn't work in this economy. Doesn't work in this economy, but she's a mother of 4 children. Okay, back to back. That's really unfair. God. The other day I was thinking about what women go through. I'm not even talking about pregnancy or like childbirth, because I've never been through that. Even periods only. Can you imagine what it is like dealing with blood like every other time? And I think ladies were forced out of the house because there's a lot of things to deal with. Okay, your work was just there to enjoying yourself, and that's it, period. And you still expect your partner to work, and like the whole pregnancy, at some point you should be able to be willing to provide. So we have another scenario on the screen. I should be their world, everyone else comes second. I should be their world, everyone else comes second. Is that a standard, or is just being delusional? Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. We have a situation on the screen. We are talking about standards versus delusional in dating. Okay, so let me know some of your situations. Kindly like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. We have a question on the screen. I should be their world, everyone else comes second. Is that a standard, or is just being delusional? Okay, let me know if you've ever been on a dating site. What's something that you read on people's profile and you are like, you know what, just give me a break. Let me know. Let me keep reading. Bob says, I don't mind having only one child. I don't mind have only a child. Childbirth is stressful and expensive. Okay, and when it comes to people like me, me, like, I really don't care about. I think I've already been a parent before, especially when it comes to siblings, cousin. So you cannot advertise that whole parenting thing to me. Like, you can tell me it's the best thing that ever happened. You can, literally, because I can see why it would be so special, because you created this little human. I can see why that could be like, this is so adorable, because that's your child. Okay. So for me, I have been a parent to people's children, especially my parents' children. Like, I have been a parent to other people's children. So you literally cannot advertise parenting to me. You cannot advertise the whole children thing to me. It doesn't work like that. I'm not attracted to that. So Bob says he doesn't mind having an only one child because childbirth is stressful and raising children is expensive. But for me, I really even don't care about like having a child. Like I am okay with never having a child. Okay, because that's it. Because at the end of the day, men have expectation, or like we are not really seen for what it is. You give birth and like somebody doesn't even appreciate you. Okay. Hmm. Let me not get worked up. Bridget says, Kenya, how are you? I'm good. And my name is Wamboy. You keep calling me Kenya, but well, maybe that should be my nickname. Diamond says, standard. You are my world. I'm your world. But keep in mind, this individual who is worthy of being your world is going to be just as concerned with the things and family and more that you are. Okay, yeah, I see that. I should be their world, everyone else comes second. But you know what, like, first of all, you have to, i think I think it's not standard, and also it's not delusional, it's something in between. Because at the end of the day, people have parents, people have okay, if you're married, okay, if you're in a relationship, they can be your world, but at the same time you still have the other things. If you're married, then your partner comes first. Okay, but if it's just some girl, like, or some boy, you guys might separate. So you better not like revolve everything around them and abandon your family, abandon your friends, because at the end of the day, you don't want everything to revolve around them. Like the live share, the love sub, the queen who jumbo from Kenya. Tony says, if your partner is your world, that can be mentally unsustainable. I know. And you know what? That's whenever this person is having a breakdown, you literally cannot live your life, because your life revolves so much around them that, like, whenever they break down, whenever they don't value you, now that's a problem. Yeah, I think it can be mentally exhausting. But okay, if it's your wife, your husband, everything can revolve around them. But like, I don't think it's sustainable. It sounds controlling to me. Diana says, I feel a lot of these questions are based on one partner being loving and giving, and the other being selfish and self-absorbed. The fact is, you give so much to your partner, you should be getting in return. And that's it. No, I don't think that, because these questions, anybody can ask. The guy can ask, the woman can ask, and even in same-sex relationship, anyone can ask these questions. So it's like, I think it cuts both sides. Because everything revolves around your partner. Uh, that's just not realistic. It's not realistic. People have families, people have friends, people have, because I feel like if you drop everything to have everything revolve around your partner, at some point they're gonna get tired. Like, they're gonna get tired. And that's something that you don't want. Richard, wow, you showed up after a long time. How have you been doing? Happy Maniac Monday from Northeast Ohio. Welcome to the building. I've always wanted to ask you, where is Northeast Ohio? Like, I know there's places like Columbus, there's Cincinnati, there's all these places. So where is Northeast Ohio? Okay, working lots. Okay. So I was talking about what we were saying with divers. So it's not about one partner. It's not about one partner being selfish. It's about being realistic. Okay, guys, if you join in, like the live, share the love, subscribe. Let's see the other question or the other scenario. Diamond says, but remember, you are revolving around him and he's revolving around you. You are caring for his family, he's caring for your family. No one is getting left out. Okay, if that's the case, then that's it. Because you cannot be the only one who is revolving around someone and like they don't revolve around you. Like, they don't care. They only care about you. They don't care about your family. They only care about you. They don't care about your friends. So it can be unsustainable. But if it's two-way, then why not? Okay. So is it realistic? Is it a standard, or is this a standard, or okay? Is it a standard, or is just being delusional? A man should always pay for everything. Standard or being delusional? A man should always pay for everything. Richard says, Northern Ohio by Cleveland is where I'm at. Below it, like called Erie. Okay, Cleveland. I've heard about that. Okay, but I don't think Cleveland is as famous as Columbus and Cincinnati. Cincinnati. Brijesh says, "Hey Kenya, go to sleep." I told you my name is Wamboi. Dama says, "If they don't care, they are not the problem. You're choosing poorly." Okay, yeah, you know, sometimes I will ask myself, what in me is attracting this type of behavior. Let's say I'm having a partner that is not being considerate, or is not being this, that. I ask myself, what in me is attracting this type of a person? Because there have to be something in you that attracts this type of person. Maybe because you were hurt as a child. I don't know if you guys believe in those things, but I do. Okay. A man should always pay for everything. Is it standard or delusional? A man should always pay for everything. Is it standard or delusional? God, it's getting hot. It's getting so hot. But I don't want to remove my my sweaters here. Let me get my little fan. What? Good. Okay. Did somebody steal from me? Tony says, if you know LeBron James, you for sure know Cleveland. Okay, you know, I know LeBron James and I've heard about him, but I just said that he's not as famous as like other parts of of Ohio. Like I've heard about Columbus, Cincinnati. Everybody talks about those areas, you know. Tony says, paying for everything won't work for me and most men in general. But if I could, I would pay most. Okay, you know what? No, what you're saying, that's being delusional. Okay, I can see why you should split bills. But Tony, like you're going for a first date, or like so you will sit there and like split the bill. So who should pay for the first day, first of all? Because you said that, like, should you split the bill when you go on a date with your lady? You go on a coffee date, you split the bill? Like, what if they can? Okay, but okay, let's see. I think you're being delusional. Jenga says delusional. Wow, all men do not want to pay for nothing. You guys don't want to pay for nothing. Diana says, man should always pay. Why? Because this is equivalent to hunting. How a man shows himself as a man. Take that away from him, he will find another way to prove he's a man. Violence, cheating. You know, and I do believe so. Ladies who provide for their men, their relationship don't work. I normally watch Koramo show. I don't know if you guys watch that, the show. I started watching it recently. How I discovered. Wow. God, I hope we are connected back. My internet disconnected. Ooh. Wow, now I can't read from the laptop. But guys, am I live? Is the chat connected again? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Guys, can you let me know if I'm live? Can you let me? I thought it was me. No! My chat disconnected when I was giving a very... Okay, I'm live, okay? But now I can't read my chat. Oh. Can't read my chat, but that's okay. I think the phone will work. If I miss your comment, make sure you say something, okay? So I think the last thing that I asked is like, who pays for the first date? Because Tony says that, like, What did he say? Paying for everything won't work for me and most men in general, but I but if I could, I would pay first. I think you are being delusional, and that's the point that I got cut off. Okay. uh Tony says, of course, I usually always pay for dates. Okay. You know, because we can't be out there. You invite me on a date, and like I am just ordering anything that I want and stuff. And when it comes to paying, you are like, can you split that by two? And I'm like, what? Okay, it's like, no, no. Tony says, I'm talking about if we live together. Okay, if we live together, that's another story. That's another story. But like telling me to pay for the first date, like to cost share, is not realistic. Like I do believe I have seen. So I was talking about the Koramo show that I these days that I usually watch. Okay, on the show, you find out that there are these women who start being providers for their men, or like they start paying bills in the household. They start picking up their slack, giving them money. The man is at home sleeping the whole day. It usually doesn't work, because that man is gonna look for somewhere where he's gonna be a man. He's gonna look for somewhere where he can provide. So I think you're just saying that, but when it comes realistically, but you know, in this economy, you need to be sharing the bills, and I know that. Okay, I know that. Like you want to have a woman who, like, you can literally help each other with the bills, but like saying that I should pay for the first, or like we could share the dates and stuff, it's like, no, no, thank you. Keep to yourself. Okay, keep to yourself. A man should always pay for everything, standard or delusional. Anybody else who haven't answered, or like you feel like you still have something to say, a man should always pay for everything, standard or delusional. Is that a standard that ladies have, or is just being delusional? Is me personally, I think it's somewhere in between. Is not supposed to be like a standard, but at the same time is delusional to think that somebody will buy everything for you. They're also human. They're gonna get tired. They're gonna get tired. Not to mention life is hard, so sometimes they won't be able to do everything for you. So okay. So if you have additional thoughts, send your thoughts. And for your information, guys, my chat is disconnected from the laptop, so I can't read. So hopefully I can read your chat from the phone. Dema says, I agree. If you live together, the roles are the same, but the obligation changes. He handles everything outside the home. She handles everything inside the home. He pays outside, she cooks inside. Okay, that makes sense. Or maybe if both of you, what's going on? Let me disconnect this Wi-Fi. If you live together, the roles are the same, but the obligation changes. He handles everything. You know what? So I think, why not, if both of you are working, why not the lady like buy food, and I think you're back. Okay, God, it's just this ridiculous internet, very unreliable. Like it could literally fail you in between something that's great. Okay. So if both of us are working, I think what's realistic is like one of us to handle the bills inside the house, eating, stuff like that, and maybe the man can handle the rent, mortgage, stuff like that. What? God, I just broke my mouse. Oh. Everything is not working out. How do you connect back? God. That's why I'm telling you guys that I literally need a... Okay. Oh my God. What type of like... Diamond says, you can always have a discussion on your roles. However, if you cannot agree, then the roles are already predefined. Okay, I think maybe that should be the first conversations that you have when you start being with somebody, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Yeah, you should. I think the conversation about finances should be the first conversation that you ever have with your partner, because yeah, yeah. Okay, let's continue on with the questions. And I think they are almost. Can you guys give me your scenarios? Something that you've ever experienced, or like on a dating site, or even chatting with somebody. Maybe you found them along the road. You borrowed their number, and then they said something, and you're like, you know what? I'm out of here. Uh, okay. Wow, I think I read everything. I think I read everything. So let me hear from you. Let me hear from you guys. I do believe that some people want CEO's treatment with intern behavior. Like you want to be treated as a CEO and you're just an intern, or like you have intern behavior. So I think at the end of the day, it's for us to realize like what is standard, what is delusional, and maybe that's something that we should write down before getting into relationships. I think you should sit down and write, this is non-negotiable for me, this is non-negotiable for me, this is non-negotiable for me. Because at the end of the day, when you get into a relationship and you haven't defined, then because you didn't discuss it, okay, it's like a contract. Before you start working somewhere, you have a contract, and you know like these are the details. If it's when it comes time to quit, this is that. Okay, even when it comes to like renting places, like this place that I stay, we have a contract that I did sign. Like if you want to leave, you have to do this. They have maybe some money for the deposit, and you know there's all this. I think it should be like that in relationship, because at the end of the day, yeah, there is something to lose. There's something to lose. Let me see if this. Okay, I have another one. I only want someone who is already finished and perfect. Like I don't want to be building somebody. So is it delusional or is it a standard? I only want someone who is already finished and perfect. I want someone who is already finished and perfect. Like I'm not trying to be building nobody. I think I've said that before. Like I'm not gonna fall for potential, because at the end of the day, you'll help somebody build, and then when they become, you're not their type anymore. Okay. I only want someone who is already finished and perfect. Is that delusional or is that a standard? I only want someone who is already finished and perfect. I'm not willing to build somebody. Okay. Thank you, Diamas. I think I've said this. For people who have followed me for a long time, if I said something else, you'd literally think that I'm contradicting myself. I've said this before. I only want someone who is already finished and perfect. I'm not gonna be falling for potential, okay? Because I am not willing to build somebody and then they're gonna look for their type later on after I build them. No, for me, I think for me is a standard. I'm not gonna fall for potential. Let me see you at your best. I'm not gonna fall for potential unless I'm also potential. Okay? I only want someone who is already finished and perfect, standard or delusional. Uh, I only want someone who is already finished and perfect, standard or delusional. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. We're talking about standard versus delusional in dating. Okay, there have been so many conversations going around, or like, of like people are being delusional, people are bringing their fantasies into dating and stuff like that. So we have a question right here. I want someone who is already finished and perfect, standard or delusional. Like this person says, I don't want to fall for potential. I'm not willing to build somebody. Okay. There must say standards. We are adults. No one needs to be raising their potential mate. Okay, but does it happen? Does it happen? Because first of all, when you meet somebody like me who is in their 20s, of course I've not become. Okay, I've not become. Okay, maybe becoming for you is like, oh, this body type, you should look like this, like that, like that. But for me, for the man, I think for us ladies, we can literally say that, depending on the age that you're willing to date. But for men, what is it like you're looking for that you'd say, oh, this is the full potential that I'm looking for? We are adults. No one needs to be raising their potential. But I know, because I think I've heard so many stories of like somebody building somebody. You found someone, you clean them up, you help them become, and then at the end of the day, they become so attractive. They divorce you, and like they go and look for a white person. Okay, Diva says, worst date ever. I once dated a woman who spent the night telling me how to be a man, telling me to do thing before I even had a chance now to do it on my own. Like opening a door. I'm not your child. How did that go down? How did that go down? Like, uh did you open the door before you got there? Because first of all, so that you were sitting in the resort or like in the hotel, did you open the door going in? Maybe you didn't open the door uh going into the hotel. That's why she told you. Okay, I do believe she had a reason of telling you. Okay, wow, you sound bitter. Like, did you give her? Tony says, I want someone perfect for me. Okay, yeah, because I do believe you're not trying. First of all, there was a case in Kenya the other day. There's this man. He met this lady. She was just a Form 4 leaver, and I don't know if you guys know that it's like high school. So he took her to school for university education, and the moment the lady graduated, she was like she doesn't want to be a second wife to him. Okay, so in that situation, who is right, who is wrong? Who is right, who is wrong? Like, uh was it his responsibility to take her to school? Okay, was it his responsibility to pay for her undergraduate? Okay, and they were not married. There was just a promise like, oh, after I graduate, we're gonna get married. Like, is that realistic? Especially, me personally, I think especially for undergraduate, it's literally so expensive for it's so expensive for you to be taken to school by somebody, by a man. Okay, I just can't. Especially the undergraduate, like you can literally spend like okay, here in Kenya, and education is cheap here. You can spend almost like okay, let's say $15,000 on the undergraduate, the living conditions, eating, stuff like that, everything. You can spend that amount of money. Can you imagine somebody paying for you 4 years, 4 years of education in university, and then you tell them that like you're not willing to spend the rest of your life with them? So, and it was a very bad scenario. I really don't want to go into details to what happened to the lady, but Diamond says, as we were approaching the door of the restaurant, she said, you need to open the door for me. Oh my God. We hadn't even reached the door. She told me which side of the street to walk on before we got there. Oh, wow. Awful. I know you stopped trying at that point. You stopped trying, like, because it's like, if you feel like you are telling me, then wow. I think you dodged a bullet right there. You did dodge a bullet. Wow. Uh, okay, do we say you dodged a missile? There's this show that I was watching. It's a reality show. In the show, there's this lady. She's 49 years old, and I think the guy is like 29. The guy is 29 and the lady is 49. Okay, so they recorded an encounter at night. At night when they were in bed. Okay, so the lady is like, I do like this. Like, she's literally telling him how to have sex with her. Okay, we understand she's 49, she's had a lot of experience, but at the same time, it's like, God, I was just feeling second-hand embarrassment for him. He's being told what to do, how, and we had that conversation, and it was like, oh my God, what? Diamond says, and yes, I was bitter. I found that very annoying. As a gentleman, I put up with it. And when I took her home, like a gentleman, I told her I would not be calling her. Wow. Oh my God. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wambo. We are talking about standards versus delusion. Okay, is this a standard or is just being delusional? Let me know your opinions. Give me your scenarios. I know you men, you have experiences. The women in the chat, although we barely have women in here. Tony says to Diamas, all TikTok nonsense advice that probably filled her head. I know. I think maybe she read somewhere, or she was, right now there is so many advisors. First of all, that's why I never tell people my situations to advise me. I kind of try to like make the decision on myself, decide is this good or bad. I think maybe she was listening to a podcast where they were saying you need to tell the person what you're looking for. You need to tell them how you expect to be treated. I think that's what she had, or like she was watching something on TikTok or a podcast, and then maybe she thought you just say it, like you just keep saying it, and unfortunately she scared you away. Okay, I think she read somewhere. It wasn't her fault. She read somewhere that you need to tell the person that you're dating what you're looking for. And maybe she thought that's how to tell you, but unfortunately, she would have given you a chance to fail. Okay? Wow. Diamond says, I like that. Women need to take more time and tell their man what they like in bed. Oh my god, a man is easy to please. Women are difficult. Tell me what you like and how you like it. The guy didn't take it well. He was like, how are you telling me how to have sex? Like, no, you cannot do that. No. Okay, you can tell your man what you want, but not like sit there like, no, not there. No, stop doing that. Like, no, it's not reasonable. No, all of us viewers, we were having secondhand embarrassment for him, because no, you want to be told, but not like that, not like a child. Do this like as if it's your first time or stuff. No, no. Oh, what do you guys think? Okay. I want, I don't know, maybe I should give you guys a chance to talk. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Good to see you all. We've been talking about standard versus delusional in dating. So let's talk about it. Let me know your scenarios. Let me know something that somebody said to you and you're like, you're just being delusional. Those are just your fantasies. Tony says, I agree with Diamonds, okay? I want emotional maturity, but I block, ghost, and avoid communication. And I know, Diamond says, you do have to know how to tell us respectfully. But, okay, Tony, you agree with what Diamond is saying? Like, tell me what you want? Oh, you do have to know how to tell us respectfully, but acting like it's good and then not wanting more. And then not wanting more, that's your fault. Okay. I see that. You can say that, but no, I'm not gonna sit there and like coach you. I'm not gonna be coaching you on how to do stuff. Like, no, I'm gonna tell you what I'm enjoying and stuff, but like, no, you're not gonna sit there like, no, this is no, for me, no. Like, I can tell you what I want, but like sitting there and telling you touch the other, like, no, not like that. No. Ah, you man. Oh my god. So I want emotional maturity, but I block, ghost, and avoid communication. Like, you want somebody who is emotionally mature. You want somebody who communicates. You want somebody who is all those good things. Lucy Mwangi says, hi, my friend. Hi, you, Lucy. Welcome to the live. Let me know. First of all, thank you for tuning in. We rarely have women in here. So, thank you for tuning in. Okay, let us know standard versus delusional. Have a man ever said something to you and you're like, you know what? You're just being delusional. Maybe something that they want in a woman or what they want in women, and you're like, that's not attainable. You're just having your little fantasies. Diamonds, but you only have to tell a good man once, or at least give us a sign when it's not good, or when we hit that spot. Okay, this should be titled over 18. Okay. I see that. Like, you can literally say, I like that, or I enjoy this, I enjoy that, but yeah. God, I am not good at those conversations. I want emotional maturity, but I block, ghost, and avoid communication. Of course, that it sounds direct, but I think that's what we do. Most of the time, you want to communicate, but you're not willing. You want somebody who communicates, but you're not willing to be a communicator. Is one boy blushing? Yes. No, for me, I think I'm really shy. That's why I was feeling second-hand embarrassment. Sometimes I'll watch TV and I'll just be embarrassed for those people on the screen. I'm like, God, you're gonna stop when you embarrass yourself. No. And also having that moment captured on TV, like, no, don't do that. No, no. Ah. mm. Tony is laughing and everybody is laughing. Okay, no, me personally, I'm shy. We are not doing this in here. Um, I want emotional maturity, but I block, ghost, and avoid communication. Uh, okay, I was saying that I don't know if Demas will type that. I was saying it sounds direct, like that's just delusional, but it's not. Some of us, you want a man who communicates, you want a lady who communicates with you, but you're not willing to put in. You're all there acting all nonchalant, acting like you don't care, stuff like that. So I think that's delusional in fantasies. I want emotional maturity, but I block, ghost, and avoid communication. Like, you really don't want to communicate about that. Okay, let me read again. I want emotional maturity, but I block, ghost, and avoid communication. When you get upset, you ghost. Maybe because you don't want to say something that's hurtful. I want emotional maturity. Tony says, it's only truly embarrassing if it's on TV for everyone to see way more embarrassing things happen constantly behind open doors. I know, like, this is your partner, like, for example, today I was watching something, and there was this lady that was saying that the guy that she's dating, they have two children together, okay, and she was saying that, like, the guy constantly accuses her of cheating and stuff. Whenever she comes home, the guy checks he checks her underwear, or he checks her down there to see if, like, she was cheating or not. And I was just like, I was just here with my blanket, like, covering my whole face, because I'm like, God, how can you go and say such stuff on national TV? Like, are you not embarrassed? Like, can you imagine, like, I can only imagine what she was going through, like having a man come and check you down there, like to check if you were sleeping with somebody. But just coming and telling us is like, no, don't do that to yourself. Diana says, I want emotional maturity, but I block, ghost, and avoid communication. Standard or delusional? It sounds direct, like it's delusional, but I think there's so much to it. Most of us, we do all those things. We block, we ghost, we avoid communication. Sometimes you don't want somebody, but you don't want to tell them, you know what, it's done between you and I. You just want to beat around the bush. You want everything other than talk to them, or like tell them this offends me and stuff. So I think it's delusional, but it's not as direct as we think. I kind of wish I had no care to that level. Okay, me too. You remember when we started the conversation, I said, like, I always wanted to be a bad girl. That is the exact reason that I wanted to be a bad girl, because I knew if I become a bad girl, like, I don't care. Like, I just sleep around. I really don't care. Like, and I think at some point, at some point, I could have been that way. Like, I could have been somebody who doesn't care, who breaks people's hearts. Because, first of all, I have tried so hard not to be my mother. My mom is a good person. She's a good girl. She's always been a good girl. I think okay, in my opinion, I think she's only had one partner her whole entire life. Never slept with anyone else. No, nothing. I never wanted to be her. Like, because I didn't see, like, I don't think it made her a better person, or I don't think it helped her to become anything beautiful. So I didn't want that. Diamond says it should be delusional, but for me it's a standard. What? I don't care for conflict, but that doesn't really have a solution. I don't want her going out with her girlfriend, but I can't stop her. So why talk? Wow. No! Why don't you want her to go out with her girlfriend? That sounds controlling. Okay, that sounds controlling. But you know what? You can try and tell her, like, maybe I don't want you to do that. I don't. For example, I am somebody, me personally, I like going out at night. Like, it will be the whole day I'll be sitting around doing nothing. And then when it's 7 p.m., I want to go out and get something. Like, that's just who I am. Especially when I live in cities. Like, I just like being out there at night. It's just, I like to see everybody rushing up and down. I like to see, like, everybody buying food and stuff. And you know what? My partner doesn't like that. Like, uh, he's somebody who, he's a man and he's in the house by 5 at most. Like when when he's not in the house by like 5, he's late, like literally. But you know, me personally, I'm the other way around. So if you don't tell me, like, you don't appreciate that, how will I know? Okay, how will I know that you don't want me to be outside at night? Okay, because for me, it's just, I think because I grew up in the village where it was just dark at night. So when I went to the city, or like whenever I went to the city, first of all, I remember the first time that I moved from the village, I liked being outside at night, because in my village you can be outside, you cannot be outside at night. It's so dark. Diamond says, it doesn't matter why. I have my reasons, but she has her reasons for wanting to go out with her. So, what right to do? I have to say no. As such, what is the point of discussing it? To make her see you, to make her see like, by going out, she's hurting you. You don't want that and stuff, so that she can choose. Okay, but you know, I can see your point. But wow. Oh. Uh, okay, let's see something that, okay, we I have used most of the things that I've said, they are all almost direct, that they are delusional. So there was other ones, like I want someone financially responsible. That's a standard. Okay, that's a standard. I'm not even gonna ask you. I want somebody financially responsible. That's a standard. uh yeah. So you don't, so most of us, we are looking for something that we are not, and that's the real problem right there. Like, we are looking for something that we are not. We always want something that we cannot have. Everyone, everybody wants something that they cannot have, or like something that they are not. Okay, you're looking for something, let's say you're looking for somebody who is empathetic, but you're really mean. Okay, because you want something that you're not. All the time you want something that you're not. You want something that you're not. Okay, so I don't know if you guys, I was the one who was giving my scenarios. uh okay, Divas, you typed that, maybe it's worth for people to answer. I want someone financially responsible. Is that a standard or delusional? I think most of this conversation, it's been financial. uh but you know what, finances are important in relationships. We keep acting as if they are not important, but they are. Wow, God, it's really hot. Hey, it's really hot. Lean Hendricks. Hi, Lean, all the way from Netherlands. Welcome to the live. Good to see you, Lean. How is Netherlands? What's the time in Netherlands right now? Good to see you guys. Welcome to the live. We've been talking about standards versus delusion in dating. Let me know one of the scenarios, or like something somebody you dated said, and you are like, you know, you're just being delusional. That's just a fantasy. Oh, it's 8 p.m. 8 p.m. in Netherlands. Wow. Oh, you guys are 1 hour behind Kenya. Okay, 1 hour behind Kenya. Oh wow, good to see you. How are you doing? We are talking about standard versus delusional in dating. Let me know some of your scenarios. You shouldn't consider this one way or the other. You never know. Okay. Okay, you never know. You never know. You never know. So, wow. Most of this conversation have been like financial. My name says that should be a standard. I want someone financially responsible, standard or delusional. According to me, it's a standard. Like, yeah, it's a standard. Because let me tell you, especially if you grew up in like poverty, you really want to be different. You really want to be different. For example, like me, I do everything possible to observe the patterns that my parents had that made us to live the life that we did. And one of them, unfortunately, it's been like the being a good person. And I just dislike that. Like, I'm a good person and I really want to be a bad girl. Oh, but right now I don't have that need because I think I found somebody who appreciates me being a good girl. But I sometimes there's no reward in being a good person. I think so, especially in relationships. You be a good person, you will end up impregnated. This person will bring diseases to you, every type of disease. Did you guys see that? Oh God, where was it? God. I wish I could check. Let me see. I think I sent it to somebody. Do you guys send each other reels? Ooh, guys, you should follow me on Instagram. I'll be sending you reels. I think I sent it to somebody. Let me look for it. How is it going with you? It's going great. It's going great. Thank you for asking. Welcome to the live. Tony says, I personally avoid all with butterfly tattoos. Why? What does butterfly tattoo mean? I'm looking for something that I sent to somebody. Like, I want to read to you guys. Sometimes when you try to tell the story, you never tell it. Okay, here it is. I knew it wasn't long ago. Okay, man goes viral for testing positive for every single sexually transmitted disease after vacationing in Houston, Texas for spring break. Let me show you guys how it looks like. I don't know if you guys have seen this. Have you guys seen this? Like, man goes viral for testing positive for every single STD after vacationing in Houston, Texas for spring break. Can you imagine? Like, that's what I'm telling you. Like, you gotta have standards in relationships because at the end of the day, you're the one who will be having those type of things. Like, you have to have standards. You have to have standards. At the end of the day, you'll have to deal with stuff that they are not really yours. Okay. I imagine lepers running from him. Okay, he was out there kicking it, like having fun and stuff. And because of course now because he got infected with everything, maybe that's why he went viral. So this person, for example, if they only got infected with HIV takes a while before it shows. This person is gonna bring this disease to you. Syphilis, gonorrhea, all those types. That's why sometimes that's why you need to have standards, like, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. Checking the phone, we've discussed all these things. Checking the phone, what else did we discuss? Checking the phone, finances, uh, all those things that you allow your partner to do, because at the end of the day, it's your life that's at stake. Unfortunately, there is so many sexually transmitted diseases. And for the record, he did have standards. They were just very high. They just were very high. Okay, because I am pretty sure that he did not get that from a good girl. He was like, oh, I weren't very high. Oh, he just had standards. Okay, they weren't just very high. Okay, I am pretty sure he was that type of person. You see what we were talking about, like when men want a girl to marry, they are looking for a good girl. But when it's like him for vacationing, they are looking for any type of slut that's out there. They are looking for strippers and stuff like that. So, anyways, it is what it is. So, what is your takeaway from this conversation? Standards versus delusion. Diamond says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Good to see you all. It's yet another day. I am so happy to have done the whole we are 2 hours with you guys, because at the end of the day, I end up learning so much from you guys, and I like the fact that we are from different places, so we can literally grow together. I can see you guys' mindset just by being here with you all. So I think my takeaway and you wanted to be part of the bad girls. Okay, Tony, did you see that guy with like pimples everywhere? I think he went vacationing in Texas. I think Houston or Houston, whatever. So I wanted to be part of the bad girls. You know, let me tell you, some of these people that you see, they look like bad girls with tattoos and all those things. It's not like they are bad people. It's just like they are trying to be something different. They are trying to be something that they are not. And I do believe that. Okay? And I do believe that. Okay? You know, the other thing that I wanted to be, the other reason why I wanted to be bad girl, I knew good girls get pregnant. I knew good girls get pregnant, and for me that one has been a huge one, not getting pregnant. So I was like, let me be a bad girl so I don't get pregnant. I know I was silly, but that's it. I'm like, I really don't want to get pregnant, so I'm gonna be a bad girl so I don't get pregnant. Because I know bad girls are out there, but they never get pregnant. It's the good girls that, you know, let me tell you, somebody told me that like they would prefer to marry a single mother because most of the time they are usually the good people. They don't know how to like, they have not been out there in the street to know how to like what are they called, contraceptive. Some of them, the, what is it called, being a pro-choice person and stuff like that. So I knew that. So that's another little reason why I wanted to be a bad girl, because I knew if I'm a bad girl, I don't get pregnant. Diamond says, I think about 10 girls with 10 different STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. He gave the second girl a second STD, the third a third, so on. You could have been number 11. Okay, imagine at least the first one. God, I think about this 10 girls with 10 different STDs. Wow. He gave the second girl a second STD. Okay, wow. Wow. How many STDs are there? Like, wow, can you imagine that? Like, what? And the fact that, like, of course, because he was out there kicking it. Okay, so the one who had syphilis ended up with HIV. The one who had HIV ended up with syphilis. The one who had gonorrhea ended up with HIV and syphilis. Can you imagine, like, the line? Can you imagine if you are the last one and then you see him trending like that? God. Yeah. You know, I don't even want to imagine. I think at this point, the best thing is just to abstain. At this point, the world is so cruel. He's literally scared to even think about it. So So, okay, so the last question, very important one. Would you date someone at your current level? Would you date someone at your current level? Like, you see how you are, your accomplishments right now. Would you date somebody with the exact same accomplishment? Would you date someone at your, you know, because we keep saying you are this level, where you are emotionally, where you are mentally, but you keep wanting to date somebody who is here. So, where you are right now, would you date someone at your current level? Daima says, according to WHO, there are more than 30 different pathogens. Wow, 30. That's, wow, interesting. 30, like, that's a lot. Guys, let's be careful out there. Be careful. Be careful. Get tested before you sleep with people, because you never know what they are carrying. Like, and it just takes one person 2 minutes or 1 minute, depending on your abilities. 2 minutes and you are okay. And I'm not against these diseases, or like, I am not trying to be like somebody who stigmatizes, but if you don't have, just avoid them. So Tony says, to the question, would you date someone at your current level? Lucy Mongi says, hi. Tony says, I'm pretty sure most folks at my age are on my level, so I'm cool with it. Okay, all of us. I think if you are 25, if you are between 20, maybe 23, 22, I think most of them are still graduating. If you are between 22 and 27, most of us are on the same level. We are now trying to build. Between 18 and I think 21, you're still a student. You're trying to keep learning. Between I think 23 to 27, you're trying to build. 27 to like 33. Now you're literally settling. You're literally settling. So personally, yes, and yes and no, because I think I think mostly yes, but at the same time, I have done so much work, especially when it comes to emotionally. I really want to be a better person, and I'm not trying to go back to where I'm coming from. So if I have worked on myself emotionally to this level, I really want you to be there or upper. So would I date someone on my current level? I think yes and no. I think it depends. It depends with how they are, because personally, like I am literally trying not to be something. I'm literally trying not to be all those things that I'm trying to run away from. I'm trying to do better than my parents. I'm trying to be better than my siblings and stuff, you know. Diamond says financially no. I'm like I like to provide. Educationally, no. Smart girls are sexy. Socially, yes. Loners like loners. Personality, yes. Game love gamers. Okay. Oh wow! I think you've given us a breakdown. Financially, personally, no. Like, no. Like I literally need to do better, and of course, I'm taking steps. So would I date somebody who is working on themselves? Who are yeah. I think the answer to like if I would date somebody who is like me, I think yes, because first of all, I'm working on something continuously. I'm working on myself, but I think financially the answer is no. I literally want to do better. Maybe that's why I shouldn't date. Educationally, yes, yes. I would date somebody who have the same qualification as me. I am a graduate. I have a degree, so yes. Socially, yes. Like I want to be outside, but I also want to be a loner. Personality, yes. Personality, yes. I think the only part that I need to keep working on myself is financially. Like financially, I think that's the part that I'm failing. I'm working on myself emotionally, educationally. I've achieved things. So I think the answer is if I would date somebody at my financial level, I think, not financial. If I would date somebody at my level, I think the answer is yes. But at this point, financially, no. I really wanna do better. So all the other things, yes. All the other things, yes. So wow, it's been such a great show. It's been such a great show. Literally, I enjoyed every moment of it. And guys, if you're just tuning in, my name is Womboy. I was born and raised in Kenya. And this is I Am Womboy Live. Normally go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So I think I'm gonna tell you guys if I'm gonna go live for 48 hours this week. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'll decide if I'll go live for 48 hours. I did the 24 hours and it was good. Most of you guys know me from that 48 hours. Because you kind of like you're able to reach people from different time zones. So I might be doing that very soon, or maybe this week, because I really want to keep working on myself. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna missing you, but I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Make sure you work hard on yourself, then you work at your job. Keep learning, keep going, and I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, same time. So have a good day, have a good night, have a good evening, and hujambo from Kenya. Okay, I don't know if I'm closing for somebody. Anybody who has something, let me give it a minute. Maybe somebody was typing, because I think sometimes I end the live impromptu, like I'm like, okay, we are done, and some of you are still typing. And Diamond says, like the live, share the love, sub the queen. Hujambo from Kenya. Welcome to the live, guys. So that's the end of the live. So if I were to say the lessons that I've learned from this show, like I've learned, like we are looking for things that we don't have, and that's really sad. Like let's keep working, let's keep growing, let's keep becoming. Diamond says bye, had a blast with you and boy and everyone. Tony says bye. So I think nobody is typing. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for showing up. I know you guys could go to other channels and watch. You literally could even sleep. You could be scrolling on TikTok, but you choose to be here because maybe the first time you showed up, you liked the conversation, and That's it. So thank you so much, you guys. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Refer me to your friends, watch my videos, you know. Okay, so bye bye. We can literally sit here and say bye bye the whole day.